welcome everyone to the Film Vault. Dennis Anderson, I'm Bryan Beshbury, host for today. Top 5 time, top 5 actor-director teams brought to us by, hold on right here,
it's Tyler Maier.
Tyler Maier is in the second page. I didn't see it. Thanks, Tyler, for assigning us what ended up being a very fruitful topic, as I alluded to earlier.
We need a better adjective. We're always saying fruitful.
Very bountiful topic.
There you go. Thanks, Bryan.
It bore fruit.
It's low.
It was fruity.
Thank you.
High-standing
I
vegetables.
don't think I say that anymore. Don't say that.
High-standing vegetables. As my buddy Tyler says. Hey, I'd like to give a
Other Tyler.
plug to another film podcast. It's called Cinematics. It's a program that I created a number of years ago with my buddy Greg Szerzavosky, who's an actual critic, and he does all sorts of interviews. He's been interviewing people for 25 plus years. And I've been doing some good work over there for a number of years, Bryan. And just recently, I've been kind of stepping back, and my buddy Eric Holmes and Bruce Perky have filled my large
Holmes
shoes.
boy.
And if you like to hear about a bunch of esoteric movies, smaller movies that come out each week, these guys see fucking everything, and they have opinions on all of it too. So, just another little movie show out there to get even more movie information from. That's all.
Okay.
All right.
Well put.
Thanks for allowing me to do that. There's a lot of competition out there. It's fierce, Bryan. Last thing we need is be siphoning off some of our listeners to other podcasts. But if you'd like to add, not replace, can't replace this show.
No, undoable.
This show's unreplaceable. You're not going to find anything else like this.
A lot of good actor-director teams I had to leave off the list, as is the nature of top 5. But I could have made a robust list out of the also-rans.
Yeah, it's going to be a very long also-ran list.
Not for me. I have 10.
So you don't have any left over for the also-ran?
I do. That's the point. Including one that I put atop my list initially. I was like, well, that's an obvious one. And looking at it, really considering it, I'm like, they didn't make that many good movies together. They made a lot of movies. Not necessarily good.
Yeah, how did you go about this? Just good strings of movies?
I added up all the Oscar nominations.
Did you really?
No.
I wouldn't be shocked by that at all.
Well, okay, so this, I think, is a list.
You took the 3 favorite movies and you added up the Rotten Tomatoes score.
So,
whatever.
the criteria. Well, because we were given criteria.
Yeah, we
Tyler.
were. Couldn't be tentpole movies. They couldn't be comic book movies. And there had to be a minimum of 3 collaborations. That's what Tyler Maier laid down for us. I'm like, all right, buddy. All right. There's a lot of fucking rules. You know me and rules. But it turned out that was hopeful. Not that, we would have had comic book fucking movies on our list.
I only have a couple.
We're not allowed to have any, bro. Shit.
And this is also an example, I think, once we get there, where there's an obvious, number one. Sometimes it happens.
Yeah.
Sometimes
I went back and forth on that.
Michael Bay and Optimus Prime.
Careful. Michael Bay and what's the actor? The actor who voiced... Never mind. Peter Cullen.
Easy. Tyler Maier has assigned us a number of movies, including
Shia LaBeouf,
Paint Your Wagon, Lords of Chaos, Inc. Oh, I just did this last week. And then his top 5 that he did in the past were top 5 Coen brother characters, which was a good one as well.
Nice. Hey, that might come up on our list.
Bry.
Might.
Now I know too much. I just know too much, bro. All right, let's go. And Tyler has a list as well. Let's just not know. That's While We're Young. It's a Noah Baumbach reference film. That's Adam Driver's character talking to Ben Stiller about not knowing something rather than looking it up on IMDb. It's a great line.
Over-explained.
Just now?
Just now.
Well, I mean, people might be confused and frustrated as to why you're just
inside jokes
out of nowhere saying, let's just not know.
Let's just not know. Why does the bald one not want to know things? That producer right there can Google it.
All right, let's do this.
Well, let's hear the listener top 5.
That's not how this works, Bryan. Want me to kick things off? I'll kick things off. Number 5 for me. I'm going light. I'm going light,
okay.
But it's honest, Bryan.
Okay.
Because all I can do is be honest. Okay. And when I was looking at this myriad of collaborations over the last 100 plus years, my God, there's a lot.
There's a whole Wikipedia page just about actor-director compilation or combination.
A number of them stood out to me, Bryan, as you might imagine. But one, I just kept going back to.
You should go with the good ones.
And I'm like, you know what? John Hughes, working with Anthony Michael Hall, was a big part of my development as a child and growing up and watching those movies, The Breakfast Club, Weird Science to a lesser
16
extent.
Candles, yeah.
But 16 Candles.
To a lesser extent, he was the star of that movie. Co-star.
No, but lesser extent to me,
Oh,
because
I
I didn't
see,
love
I
the
see, I
old
see.
Weird Science as much as I love the 16 Candles and Farmer Ted, Farmer Fred.
Weird Science has great moments, but they're spaced out.
Yeah, it was Weird Science to me was a little too low hanging fruit with a
Also,
lot of the jokes.
yeah,
So,
and I remember researching that for a list many years ago, and it was like, oh, he wrote it over a weekend. I'm like, that makes sense. That
yeah,
adds up.
kind of.
Yeah.
It was just a fever beat off dream that he had, and he wrote it all down right after he was done. But 16 Candles, the character that he created in 16 Candles, and
Go on.
we went back to the well. With different, he played different. Weird Science, his character in Weird Science was very similar to his character in 16 Candles, like a horny young high school age kid.
Nerd.
But I mean, the Breakfast Club, he was a much nerdier, different version of those other two
Bryan.
characters. You probably
His
related.
character's name.
He couldn't get the trunk to turn on the light, Brian. The trunk. Have you not seen Breakfast Club enough?
I haven't seen it in quite some time. What's the
Ceramics. He didn't do too well.
Oh,
in it.
yes.
The elephant's
Oh,
trunk was supposed to
yes,
turn on the
yes,
light, and he
yes.
couldn't get it. See, he's a nerd in some areas,
And
but
didn't he bring a flare gun to school?
I don't recall that.
Spoilers.
What flare gun?
Isn't that what he got? That's what he
That's
got
why
in
he got
trouble
expelled.
for.
Yeah.
That's why
Just
he got in
saying
trouble.
he brought a gun to school, and they're like, "Oh no, what are we gonna do?" It's a flare gun.
I just finished ridiculing you for not knowing tidbits from that movie,
And I hit you back.
I'm missing a large flare gun. I don't remember
Yeah.
that. All right.
This is like never mind.
It's like we're what? You gonna do a little,
Huh, goes
little
deep
dig
pull.
there?
This is like when in Snatch when Brad Pitt got up off the mat and knocked that guy out with one punch.
It's nothing like that
It's
at all.
exactly
Brian.
like that.
So you're Brad
Same
Pitt.
physique.
That's right. I'm Brad Pitt in this respect. You're the big fat guy. Anderson is wounded
Anderson's face is great.
Not nice at all.
in the movie.
Do you remember how he?
I'm pikey.
Do you remember how Brad Pitt the Pikey was introduced in that movie? First time we see him,
He was incontinent.
No, he's in the he's.
he was crouching
No.
down and he was pooping.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah,
I
it
thought
was
he
Brad
in
Pitt's
the ring.
idea. He thought it'd be funny.
That was the first time
He
I saw him.
crouching down and pooping like out in a parking lot.
Okay.
So that lines up. Every time I see you, I imagine you're
That's
pooping.
fine. That's
The look on your face
All right.
usually looks like it's mid poop. Yeah. So I can see what you're saying now. I agree with you. You are very much like Brad Pitt from Snatch.
Mid poop.
Yeah.
Like a mix of struggle and joy.
Yes. Kind of like James Franco all through the Spider-Man movies. Or Spitterman, as the Europeans call it. Spitterman.
Spiderman. It's the Jewish superhero.
There is a character in one of the
Herschel Spiderman.
Spider-Man cartoons, and he's like a fish creature guy,
Right.
and he's very proper, and he has an accent, and he does refer to him as Spitterman. And Atticus
good.
and I think that's very funny.
That's cute.
Okay, yeah, so that's Farmer Fred. Anthony Michael
Farmer
Hall.
Ted. Farmer Ted.
Yeah, he goes back and forth, though. He's Farmer Fred sometimes. There's a scene where he's like, Farmer Ted, Farmer Fred. Farmer Fred, Farmer Ted.
That may be true.
John Hughes, Anthony Michael Hall. Guys, they get a little bit more relevant.
Heady.
A little headier.
That's a good one though, because I saw lists saying what's this fuck John Hughes and Molly Ringwald.
Candy.
No, not enough.
John Candy.
Not enough.
Yeah.
Number 5. Should we give Tyler the pole position?
Sure.
Let him clean up.
You got the list right there.
I do.
Nice. Number 5 for me, I have the comedic entry, which this is an example. I guess they're. Oh, fuck.
Am I writing down both of these?
What's that?
Am I writing down
You
both
don't have
top
to write
fives?
any of them if we want to.
Wait, what do you mean?
Nothing to
Did
link
he
to.
not send you?
Doesn't he?
Nothing to link to.
No, send the list.
I send it every time.
Do you?
No, he doesn't.
No, you don't, Brian. You're asked so little.
I send it most of the time.
He will certainly not
When
send it
prodded.
this time.
When,
Do you know what most means?
when harangued.
Go ahead. What's your
This is an
number?
example of a director, I think, really getting the most out of an actor, but also bringing that actor to the masses. Now, of course, Will Ferrell was known from SNL, but I think he was put over the top by Adam McKay. Talk about Adam McKay and Will Ferrell. 5 films: Anchorman, Talladega Nights, Step Brothers, the other guys, and of course Anchorman 2. Of varying quality. Anchorman 2 wasn't fantastic, but that character of Ron Burgundy was he was born to play that role. That's his most I think it's his most identifiable role. I think it's his most famous role. I'm gonna stand by that. Anderson has no thoughts on it.
I'll allow you to stand by that.
I have
no thoughts.
Speaking of more heady, I'm going with my dramatic choice, number 5. Alfred Hitchcock found his everyman in Jimmy Stewart. Alfred Hitchcock and Jimmy Stewart made 4 films together, 2 very good, 2 all-time classics. Talk about Rope, Rear Window, The Man Who Knew Too Much, and of course Vertigo, all between 1948 and 1958. They collaborated, like I said, on 4 films, and Hitchcock and Stewart, I believe. I know Cary Grant was in 3 or 4, but I think Jimmy Stewart might have been the lead actor anyway, who was in the most Hitchcock films.
That's why they called him Jimmy Hitchcockian.
I didn't realize that.
They did that.
That's news to me.
Yeah, he was in 4, as was Cary Grant. He was
Okay.
also in 4.
There you go.
And Grace Kelly was in 3.
Mm.
Pat
And
Hitchcock.
she only acted for like 10 years, too, before she became princess.
Dorian Lang was also in
She was
3.
only princess for about 10 years.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, nice. Well done.
All
All right. Now we go on to Tyler's.
Now let's hear Tyler's number 5.
Tyler's list. Number 5 for Tyler Maier is Coen Brothers and John
Oh,
Goodman.
Excellent.
My favorite movie from this team up is The Big Lebowski.
Yeah, so that's the way that Tyler went about it. Is he named his favorite of the collab, and I talked to
I
Tyler.
guess I could do that, too.
Yeah, you can do it. And Vertigo. You can say Vertigo.
I actually
Can I admit that I just don't
I
get
kind of like
Vertigo?
Rear Window more than Vertigo. Is that sacrilege?
I agree with you.
Okay, I'll go Rear Window.
I need to see Vertigo again, maybe, but I just don't get it. I didn't get it. I don't get Hitchcock though. Really, I think I'm
Really?
I think I'm
I
too.
feel like he. All right.
No. He's too controlled.
And Kubrick wasn't.
Kubrick was controlled in a different way, a much different way. Kubrick was
I feel
controlled.
like we're splitting hairs.
Yeah, it's Kubrick was.
That's a valid
Kubrick was
criticism.
controlled with.
That's a valid
I don't wanna
criticism
get
of
into-
Hitchcock, but to compare,
I know.
to
Believe me, I've
favorite.
grappled with this with myself as well because it's one thing that I dislike about one, and I love about the other. But
They're also different
they're
eras in the sense that Hitchcock was that old Hollywood where it was maybe wooden by today's standards, and Kubrick, of course, let the actors, let the drama and the action breathe.
I think what I respond to when I land when I'm grappling with this Bryan with myself is that Hitchcock was a slave, for lack of a better term, to the story, whereas Kubrick was much more character based. The story was important,
That's fair.
but he was, and he would tell the story and things about the character within the mise en scene. Whereas Hitchcock, he famously, mise en scene, with the Hitchcock would famously, treat his actors like cattle, livestock.
That's right.
I think he referred to them as livestock even.
One more chess piece to be moved.
Right. So.
Okay. That invalidates number 5, but
Top 5 chess pieces.
that's right.
John Goodman was in 6 roles.
Nope, he was not.
With the Coen Brothers.
I saw the. I
don't
tweeted
understand
about
why
it,
you
actually.
would
There was a rare
Jesus Christ.
a rare
You're
error.
so
A
confident.
rare error on Wikipedia. It's actually 7 films. If you look at the 6 films the Wikipedia lists, they don't list the Big Lebowski.
No, because he's not in that.
Oh, okay. Oh, I just thought Tyler said he was, but
No, that was Milius
oh shit! I should have
playing himself.
Boy, do I feel foolish.
It's true. Why don't they?
Isn't that weird?
What are they doing?
Like the most obvious one.
Maybe he asked to be removed because he's afraid of John Milius. Remember the Milius documentary that we saw? I was talking to Tyler about this.
That's the one thing I remember most was how he inspired the character.
I kept waiting for them to get to that, and they didn't. And then it's in the post credits. There's like a little quick clip
it was?
of
Oh.
Goodman saying, and I may or may not have been channeling John Milius, something along those lines, because apparently like it's like a dead ringer.
Yeah, a lot of traits, a lot of qualities encapsulated in Walter.
Yes, John Milius, of course, director of Conan the Barbarian, amongst many other things. Red Dawn was
famous
created
writer.
PG-13. Yes, Red Dawn.
Podcast now.
Red Dawn. All right, Barbara.
It's your turn. After Tyler.
It is. Number 4 for me is a guy named Billy Wilder, who prolific, right? Many movies, but it's his work with Jack Lemmon that really makes it worthy of being number 4 on my list here, Bryan. Now, this could have been considered like comedic because you got
True.
the comedic thing. However, The Apartment, which is my number favorite,
That's a
my
comedy.
number 1, I would not call The Apartment a comedy. I would not. It's got comedic elements, but I don't even know if comedy would
Yeah,
be.
it's probably a dramedy by today's standards.
But Billy Wilder and Jack Lemmon teamed up for Some Like It Hot, which is probably what most people know, 1959. Then they got back together the following year with The Apartment.
The Apartment is under the guise of comedy, but it is a sort of heavy movie.
Irma La Dolce, which I have not seen. The Fortune Cookie. Avanti, which I have not seen. The front page, which what was it? Call me Dolomite. What was it? We really like that. I just have a hard time with the title. Dolomite.
Dolomite is my name.
Dolomite is my name. Front
Oh,
page.
that's right, the one
is-
that went to see.
Yeah, they went to see the front
Oh, they're
page, and
funny
they're
at
like,
all.
"This is what white people like. What the fuck is this?" That said, I really like the front page, and that was a Billy Wilder, Jack Lemmon team up, 1974. They also did Buddy Buddy. I have seen 2/3 of these, but the three that I really respond to are Some Like It Hot, like everyone else. The front page, which I really enjoyed, and of course The Apartment, which is just I assigned that to you, right? And it's just an all-time classic.
It's great.
Just
I loved it.
fantastic. Let me look up The Apartment.
Ahead
see
of its
if they have
time.
Comedy on there in the old IMDb. Let's see.
Well,
if-
they list like 10 genres.
oh, usually 3.
Is that the one where he's renting it out to his?
His
Yeah.
boss for
Yeah, that
philandering.
was great. I did
the
like The
girl that-
Apartment.
All right. Are you waiting on me with
Yeah.
bated breath? Guys, I don't like this. Why don't you move on? I'll let you know. I'll catch up with you.
Comedy.
Go on down. Go on down.
Number 4 for me in the comedic department is
Shit. Just answers it. Comedy, drama, romance. All right, go ahead.
it's crazy to think that we maybe would not, if not know
He's waxing.
a huge talent like, oh, sorry, I should have said huge, a massive, God damn it, a substantial talent like Melissa McCarthy, if it wasn't for Paul
You
Feig.
talking about Paul Feig? Really?
Yeah. We're going
Right.
Paul Feig and Melissa McCarthy. They had an incredible run of movies. Bridesmaids, of course, would put her on the map. Best
Heat.
Best Supporting Actress nomination. The Heat and Spy. Ghostbusters maybe not quite up to snuff.
Spy, not so much.
Oh, I like Spy.
Get
I
it out.
disagree. Spy's funny.
Oh.
Oh,
Spy.
we've talked
it's
about
like,
this.
It's like made for TBS.
Oh, it's
Sunday
hilarious.
afternoon.
No, I disagree. Statham as the way over the top, overly serious secret agent. Fantastic.
You see the Spy there?
No,
Spy's funny.
You missed up.
I haven't seen
stand
The
up.
Heat either.
Heat's
What?
pretty good.
Oh, the Heat's good.
I saw the Heat twice in the theaters. Two times.
How many times?
2 times.
Thank you.
I liked it a lot.
Did
the
you
first
get
time.
the papers? You get the papers?
Kind of felt. Yeah, that's what I was doing there, Bri. Kind of fell off the second. It didn't quite.
I'm
hold.
adding it to the list.
But Heat's pretty good. Billy Burr's in there too. William Burr.
I think the Heat's better, but it is definitely better. But
My
Spy,
boy
don't
Devon's
sleep,
in
don't
there as
sleep
well.
on Spy.
Devon McDonald's in there as well. All right.
It's a genetic condition. The guy who's albino. They keep making fun of his pale skin. It's a genetic condition. Anyway, good run there for Paul Feig and Melissa McCarthy. And, of course, number 4 for me on the dramatic side, Paul Thomas Anderson and Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Oh yeah, they made a lot of movies
They
together.
made a lot of movies
I forgot
together. In
about
fact,
that.
it was the one that put it over the top for me. Of course, he was fantastic. Small role in Heart 8. God, he was great as the obnoxious crap slayer. All right, put it here, old timer. Come on, roll us a 7. Come on, old timer. All right, look at this. See this right here, and put it down right here, old timer. Come on, get us a drink. He was so obnoxious and so good. Boogie Nights, of course, Magnolia. But the one that put it over the edge for me, Punch Drunk Love. Mattress Man. He's the mattress man. He was so great. Didn't need to be in the movie.
You see the short that they did?
Yeah,
That's like
yes,
the cover where he
it-
falls off. It actually happened apparently.
It was so
You
good.
didn't even see the Master, dude, which is
I
probably
saw the Master. I didn't
you
like
didn't
it.
say the Master.
Yeah, I saw the Master.
I mean, which is probably a kid. It's the one leading role that he has.
I
in
know.
the slew of movies that you just listed.
PTA also made 3 great movies with Philip Baker Hall. We did a top 5 of his for Patreon, I think, a couple of months ago when he passed away. But Philip Seymour Hoffman and Paul Thomas Anderson are my number 4. 5 films together.
Every Paul Thomas Anderson movie I see now, I just imagine where Philip Seymour Hoffman
Yeah, where
could
he
have
would
been,
be.
would have been, should have been, might have been. Yeah, he would have been. Rumor has it that he would have played the lead kid in Licorice Pizza.
Oh my God, that would have been a bold choice.
That was actually his son, so he kind of was in there, right? That's Philip Seymour's son.
His-
Philip Seymour
His
Hoffman's
genetic
son.
material was in there.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a collaboration. The collaboration continues.
That's right.
Point
Oh,
5.
That's right. 5.5 films.
All right, Tyler. What's your number 4, Tyler? Do your
Number
best, Tyler
4.
voice saver.
For Tyler. Oh, my number 4.
Hi, I'm Tyler.
Number
Tyler
4.
does not sound like that.
Jack Nance and David Lynch.
Oh, so good.
The most notable movie I can go with is Eraserhead.
He's
I will
sick.
never forget that. I was made to watch that in high school as a 16-year-old.
Is this Avery or Tyler? It's hard to tell
That
the
was
difference.
me. That was me.
You were made to watch it in 6th grade?
No, as a 16-year-old in high school.
Oh, okay.
Took
I
a
can see
movie
that.
elective, and that was like one of the first things he showed us. And it was, I will never unsee that movie.
Well, it's a comedy, which a lot of people don't realize. It is a comedy. Like the more you saw, I've probably seen it 4 or 5 times now, and it gets funnier and funnier every time I see it. It really
you
is
are
funny.
sick.
It's very, very funny.
And the most notable thing about the film teacher was, so there'd be an obvious bedroom scene. So it would be two characters would be undressing, making out in a bedroom. It would fade to black. They would wake up the next morning and they would be like making breakfast in their robes. And he would just turn the movie down and go, that means they had sex.
What a weirdo!
And he would do it for
This guy needs to be
every-
reported.
He would do that for every
Is this the only
single
subtext
movie.
that he pointed out?
That was every time, without fail, no matter how obvious. It could be a graphic sex scene.
Who would
then
he
the
be
one
looking
after,
at?
He would be looking at the screen, and then he would just turn away from the projector to the class and go, that means they had
Would he
sex.
be like singling out and saying this to like one young lady or something?
Oh no, it was just to the class, as
He
though
winks at the.
as though we missed the subtext, as though, oh, that was an allegory for death.
Was he doing it for jokes, for yucks, or was
no,
he just?
he was-
That's the only subtext that he responded to.
he was
and
very
felt
serious.
that was worthy of imparting on the youth.
It was very serious. And now I think of that every single time I see a sex scene in movies.
That's terrible. He's imprinted that.
You should say that loudly. In the
I do. I
theater.
just turn to whoever I'm
theater.
with and go, that means they had sex.
No, but like the awkward, like that means they had sex.
It was the weirdest thing. And he loved playing tennis with Rainn Wilson. It was
That's
a very
right.
strange,
That's right.
So
strange pairing.
Jack Nance and Eraserhead and Wild at Heart, Twin Peaks. What else has he got him in?
He was in almost all his movies.
He was in a lot. Yes, he was in.
I was looking at his IMDb page, or his Wikipedia page.
Well, they left off Eraserhead. No, okay. All right, what's your
Well, it
number?
says after Eraser. Okay.
What's your number? What's your number 3 there, Barbara?
3 comedy for me. 3C. God, I should have looked this up. Avery, you may know this though. Off the top of your head, the Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg and Nick Frost trilogy is known as the something.
Cornetto.
That's exactly what it is. Thank you very much. And it was a product, fictional product, and here it is.
Is it fictional ice cream?
Oh,
I thought it
that's
was,
Real
I thought it
ice
was
cream.
real
Oh,
ice
yeah?
cream.
Oh, I assumed it was
I'm-
for, like Red Apple cigarettes. You know what? That's a great question. I don't know the answer to that.
I thought it was like
Yeah,
British ice cream.
I believe it's real.
It's like Carnation over there.
It's
I
an
didn't know.
Italian brand of frozen dessert.
No shit. It was gelato. Okay. 3 films together, of course, Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and The World's End. I don't think I need to sell our audience on that collaboration. Number 3, dramatic for me. One had to come first. I'm going Scorsese and DiCaprio. Scorsese and DiCaprio, Leonardo DiCaprio, Martin Scorsese, teamed up on 6 films so far, although the list I saw included Killers of the Flower Moon, which has yet to be released.
Not according to me. It's my top 5 most anticipated 2022.
That's right. I forgot.
Son
about
of a bitch. It was supposed to be 2022 for the longest time. All right, COVID.
So you know the answer, or you know the story behind this, Anderson. Their first collaboration was on Gangs of New York, which was supposed to be a early Scorsese film, which got backburnered, shelved. I guess he never got around to making it. He was going to make it with De Niro, and then he aged out of it, and he finally got around to making it in 02 with his new beau. Do you think it's uncomfortable for De Niro and
We'll talk about this.
Okay.
Later
Gangs of New York in
program.
2002, The Aviator 04, The Departed, his best film, both of them. Shutter Island, The Wolf of Wall Street, and the upcoming Killers of the Flower Moon.
Oh, it's upcoming.
What's upcoming?
All right.
A $200 million Apple TV movie.
What, Irishman?
No, the fucking
Oh, the
Flower
Flower
Moon.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's Apple.
I was looking at budgets, and I was looking at
Sorry, buddy.
the budget for the Irishman was
You come
200,
over and watch it.
200 million. I think what they have reported. It's really hard to tell
Simpsons.
because of Netflix. You know how they're so cagey with. But I think it only brought in 20 million is what they're suggesting. I can't remember.
Like, is that box office? Or because I saw it in the theater.
Yeah, so maybe it's just I don't know.
Wait, what was 20 million in the box office?
Irishman.
The
Oh, Irishman.
Yeah, what the?
Fuck, that was.
But that was a big Netflix movie. That was like their tentpole movie of the year.
Yeah. So how many? Like I was talking with this with my buddy. Like it's so hard to tell, right? With the streaming services and Netflix and Prime, but like because you used to be able to see the box office, you'd be able to tell if it made its money back. They don't have to disclose what the deals are at Hulu.
They're
and Prime,
cagey.
and they're cagey. And also with a movie like White Noise, which we covered last week, Noah Baumbach's White Noise, which evidently I might have been speaking out of turn, and apparently like it wasn't even like a Noah Baumbach a passion project. Like he doesn't really care about that material. Like I think he was just hired gun. he got a shit ton of money from Netflix. Oh, what kind of a move though is that? Like financial move, like business move for Netflix? Like how many people are getting a Netflix subscription because they have a middling Noah Baumbach project?
That's interesting. So I'm wondering, and there's probably people out there who know a lot more about this than you and I. But
You and me.
No, my thinking, the thinking used to be that Netflix just wanted new subscribers, right? Well, they're probably at a critical mass where they're just trying to keep the subscribers happy, right? They're just like, we've got to produce a certain amount of content, movies, series, documentaries, whatever, to keep these subscribers happy.
No, I think you're backwards.
Really?
Yeah, because at first they were trying to build the library, and they were just trying to get as much streaming content as they could. And they started making their own, which they had control of, and it was sex appeal and like big names, signing deals. But then they got to the point where now they're just trying to get like subscribers that would have never thought. From what I heard, like it was foreign language films, Spanish in particular, is really going to bring in new subscribers. Like that market would do them well. White noise doesn't make any sense to me, and
They're also doing a thing where they'll take a TV show, and if it does well, they will make the exact same TV show almost word for word in different languages.
just
For
reproduce
different
it?
countries, yes. Almost identical. There's one show where I think it's literally an identical translation, line for line, almost shot for shot.
Didn't know.
And it's very successful.
Huh.
Oh, Los Groupers.
It's not a TV show.
Los Escrupers.
Come on, buddy. Leave money on the table.
All right, so here, let me get there real quick. I'll read what I was reading. So yeah, they have this thing, collaboration chart. It doesn't matter, but the budget for The Irishman was 159 to 200 million estimated, and the gross was 8 million. They just have gross. Right. They don't have, I don't know if that's box office.
I assume it's from a limited run because it was Oscar eligible.
Yeah, but I mean it was maybe in a couple 2-4 theaters.
I saw it
in the theater.
Yeah,
I don't remember that.
Really?
I believe you. But
Did you see it?
You saw it in the theaters?
Yeah, I did. It was playing at the AMC. Here.
No, I didn't see it.
Oh.
Jesus.
Yeah. I think it was like Dolby or something too. Anyway,
Atmos.
we come to this place.
All right.
To watch old men pretend to be young.
Jesus, that fight scene. Oh no.
I think we're at number 3 for Tyler Maier.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Tyler Maier. Okay.
Hey, I'm Tyler Maier.
Why is he saying his own name?
I don't know. So that's how all good impressions start. Number 3 is Mel Brooks and Madeline Kahn.
Oh, good choice. Well, that's my number 2, so I should just piggyback.
Pig it.
His favorite is Blazing Saddles.
Yeah.
Is yours not? They say the end.
No, it's so close. I love Young Frankenstein. I know. History of the World Part 1. Just to go different, I'll go Young Frankenstein, but she's fucking fantastic in all of those, plus High Anxiety. They have 4 films together. Is that Tyler everything else
I'm
to
not
say?
Tyler. I don't have anything else
I don't know
to
if you
say.
have anything else to say. Hey, I'm Tyler.
You got to crack the voice.
Oh, that's right.
I'm Tyler Maier.
All right. Number 3 for me. Is that what
Please.
we're doing?
Did we
2.
skip you? Are we on 2?
I did.
Did we miss it?
He bumped up to 2 because Tyler Maier's 3 was his 2. So Bryan just jumped on, right?
No, we did 3. I did Scorsese and DiCaprio.
Yeah.
And I did.
I guess
skip
we
you?
skipped me.
Edgar
It's
Wright.
fine.
Oh, okay.
So this one is one of legend. I like some of these films. I can't say that I love them, but it has to be on the list because Werner Herzog and Klaus Kinski is a collaboration that was
Volatile.
some might say volatile. It was a marriage.
Some might say volatile.
A marriage made in hell. Perhaps there's rumors, there's folklore, there's myths
Legend.
that legend that guns were held at certain actors' torsos and heads off camera while he was forced to read his lines because
Like a hostage.
because he was threatening to leave so many sets, so many movies, so many pictures.
Is that who you're going to get Anderson's interview for your
That's right.
documentary?
That's exactly right.
Werner was considered like a Klaus.
Talk about how you cried.
I do need that.
A Klaus
I need that
whisperer.
listener art.
I better see a tear. You're going to wear this fucking gun.
There's a great
You're going to wear this bullet.
mini documentary called I'm gonna draw a blank now. I used to have it on VHS tape. I've cited it on the show a few times, but it's called Please Kill Mr. Kinski. I think that's what
Boulevard
it's
of Broken
called.
Dreams.
Please, and it's a couple producers openly admitting to the fact that they were considering having Klaus Kinski killed to collect the insurance because they were so fucked because of his behavior on sets. So I think it's called Please Kill Mr. Kinski. Can you look that up and see if that's on IMDb?
It's very fun.
Please
It's
call
very fun.
Mr. So Werner Herzog and Klaus Kinski, despite, I think anyone who knows, is familiar with Werner Herzog, they won't be surprised to when I say that, he's kind of fueled by chaos. And I think that's one of the main reasons. He respected Klaus Kinski, what he brought to the table. I always thought Klaus was, God, thank God he's not within arm's reach, but
Yeah, he'd find you.
I always found him to be a bit dramatic, a bit schmaltzy, a bit over the top, a bit dramatic for my own taste. But I did like him in Nosferatu the Vampire. That was a fun one. Wojciech Fitzcarraldo is really his, for me, was his chief.
His fillet.
His fillet. Yeah, and of
Not his
course,
best.
Aguirre, the Wrath of God. I
His
think I might
second
be.
or third best.
Is that how you said that guy's name? Aguirre? Aguirre? Yeah, of course. I always fuck that up. God damn, I'm stupid. I hate when my stupidity is just on full display.
It
which
is
just was. Aguirre, the
it's
Wrath of God.
Please Kill Mr. Kinski.
Please Kill Mr.
1999.
Kinski. 1999. I would imagine that's on IMDb.
Fun.
It's a fun watch. It really is a fun watch. It's bizarre watching two grown adults
You
just
said IMDb, but I think about YouTube.
YouTube openly admit to the fact
I
that they
didn't.
were conspiring to kill another human
That's
being.
great.
And they're kind of
Old
laughing
school.
about it, but they're serious too.
Kind of like The Art of Killing. Remember that documentary? It's like good old jovial times talking about torture and killing.
Yes, of course I remember that. They're re-releasing that, like the director's
Really?
cut. Yeah,
Oh, fun.
Yeah, can't
Yeah,
wait.
Great.
That fucking dick puking on the rooftop.
Yeah.
It just went on for
Speaking
5
of
minutes.
dramatic.
I'm like, all right.
Speaking of overly dramatic.
This guy realized that people are going to be watching. He's really trying to lay it on thick that he feels bad to the point of heaving. I'm not buying it. Please end.
I'm not buying it.
The Look of Silence. I liked that one quite a bit. That was the follow-up.
Silence.
Remember The Look of Silence?
Yeah, part two. No, I think they were both nominated for Oscars.
Both made by Oppenheimer and both disturbing. I think Look of Silence was more disturbing. Just openly talking like, this is where we take them down and butcher them. It was good times, right? Remember we cut off the boobs and
Cut off
you could
the
see where the
boobs.
milk came from? That was crazy, right? High five.
Oh, to be young again.
Fucking crazy.
Human
Human
youth is
beings.
wasted on the young.
Human beings,
All
man.
right, you got to do number two, back to back.
Quick break?
No, quick
Quick
Reiki.
break.
Reiki.
Let's do Anderson's number two after that. Yeah, we're back. Why did we take a break again?
You just had to jam in your joke.
You reminded me.
Where are we at?
So we got to do your number two.
Yeah, my number two, which has already been burned by you,
shit.
and that's the old Paul Thomas Anderson and Philip Seymour Hoffman. Yes,
So good.
of course, Hard Eight, Boogie Nights, Magnolia, Punch Drunk Love, and The Master. You know what? It was in the running there for number one for a minute because of what these two did together and how they collaborated and made different things each time and
He
completely
was such a different
characters.
character in every one of those movies.
Yes, Philip Seymour Hoffman's not going to bring the same character to, and Paul Thomas Anderson. I wouldn't imagine he would want the same character, brought to him. So, God, just one of the all-time greats that gone way too quick.
Scotty.
And it's my
He's an idiot.
third favorite collaboration according to this list of all time. My
Third
third favorite.
Third to number two.
It is.
Okay.
I got tied.
Oh, I see.
I got a tie for Dose.
Well, I got a tie also.
Jesus Christ, that was loud.
Number one,
It's a lot of
comedic.
energy.
You know what? I'll breeze past this one because we talked about it a little bit. Of course, the Coen brothers and John Goodman. What are you doing?
Creating feedback
Okay.
to drown you out.
Little Bryan in stereo.
Anderson sabotaging. Coen brothers and John Goodman, of course, 7 films as discussed. However, they were just as successful and even more prolific with now this is a bit of an inside baseball because Francis McDormand was married to a Coen brother. However, they produced 9 films together. Blood Simple, Raising Arizona, small part admittedly, Miller's Crossing, uncredited, Barton Fink, Fargo, of course, The Man Who Wasn't There, Burn After Reading, Hail Caesar, and The Tragedy of Macbeth.
And you know what? To pile on to Philip Seymour Hoffman. bringing
Macbeth
something
was the
different.
best one of that.
Oh, Jesus
It
Christ.
was certainly the most recent.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, Jesus. I felt bad for everyone in the movie except for the witch. She knew what she was singing. Like, she knew what page to turn, but everyone else was like way too serious.
What are we doing here?
But yeah, so Philip Seymour Hoffman brought something different to the table. Frances McDormand, she brought something different to every single one of those roles, completely different.
Oh, Blood Simple to Fargo, completely, the 180.
I wonder if she stayed in character. Like, he had to like sleep with different versions of his wife during these.
The horrible accent.
I don't think that's possible because he wouldn't have written her characters to be so obnoxious and annoying. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good point.
He'd
If that
write
was the case, he'd be like a sex fiend.
Sexy
Yeah,
bombshell.
that's right.
Do you think anyone watched Macbeth more than once?
Editor.
Do you think?
Goddamn that movie.
Outside of that, I don't think anyone.
You don't think anybody went? Honey, you gotta sit down and watch this one with me.
You ever read the fake?
I think Shakespeare himself would tap out after round one. Like, oh, that was good. Let's watch Othello. Let's watch Oh.
Do you read the? I actually watched Oh Jesus, guy in the theater. Did you read the fake review from Ethan Cohen on
No, you
Macbeth?
were talking about that.
Pretty
No,
good. It's pretty funny. What a shame, huh? What a shame. Wasted energy. Wasted. All right, so
wait, we're all over the place. Oh, I fucked up. Wait, no, I didn't. Oh, but I did.
all right.
We're all over the place. I
did you
didn't
do?
do my number 2 dramatic, so we got to catch up on that.
Oh yeah, because you jumped ship. So go ahead, do your 2 dramatic. I just did my 2 only,
because then I need to do the
and
two
then we
for
do
Tyler.
we do Tyler. So we're
Number
so
2
we're on track.
dramatic. I mean, it's obvious, but of course, edging out Scorsese and DiCaprio, Scorsese and De Niro. How does it get much better?
They did make more than one, didn't
They made quite a number of films, actually. 10 films over 5
that's a good
decades.
read.
Starting with Mean Streets, ending most recently with The Irishman and the upcoming Killers of the Flower Moon.
Have you seen them all?
I've not seen Killers of the Flower Moon.
Have you seen all the other collabs, Barbara?
I've seen all but 5 Scorsese films. It looks like there's 1, 2, 3.
How many? Have you seen
4.
the King? You haven't seen the King of Comedy?
Still haven't seen King Comedy. Please sit down. And I haven't seen, one more here. Oh, New York, New York, which I hear is not that great.
There's a lot of singing, but De Niro saxophone playing. You haven't seen the audition either, have you?
I don't know what that is.
More on that later.
Oh, actually, yes, I do know what that is because I clicked on that. I was like, what the fuck is that? Not for me.
Why is it not? Okay,
No, it's not a film.
All right, number 2 for Tyler Maier.
Tyler Maier. Number 2 is Yorgos Lanthimos.
Yargos.
Oh.
And Angeliki Papulia.
Your name came up on
Hipster
our
pick.
phone call
Oh, did it?
because I'm like, thanks a lot, dude. I got to say that name now. You hear me stumble through it, and he's like, Avery will help you. I'm like, thank God you're right.
That's what I'm here for. Best collaboration between these two is definitely Dogtooth.
She's the older sister in Dogtooth.
The one who the titular Dogtooth is a part of. No longer.
That was
Right.
a stretch.
I mean, what are you doing?
I'm talking about Dogtooth.
Here you are. You
I'm
really
just talking
did.
about Dogtooth.
All right.
I can dig it.
I can take it. What? All right. What's where are we going now? That was a deep pull.
That was.
What else is she in? Oh man, I'll look it up because he went about it a little differently than you and I did, and because I think I know she's in The Lobster. Yorgos.
Is she in The Favorite or something?
She's in, let's see.
Sacred Deer.
This is the part where we look shit up.
Not me.
All right.
Sacred Deer.
Here it is. Alps and The Lobster.
Okay.
So he just caught up with Tyler Maier just caught up with Alps recently, which I've talked about on the show. Alps it was a great premise. However, I don't feel like Yorgos really. I don't think he made the movie he wanted to make because it's meandering, it's slow, it's hard to follow. But the whole premise was if you lose a loved one, we are an acting troupe that will impersonate that loved one and let them live with you for a while to help ease the
nice.
pain. Which I like. There's a lot of different directions you can go there, right?
course.
And all the directions that
I like to have lots and lots of sex with my loved ones. So you guys know what to do.
So you're just immediately turning into like a predator's role. Like you're just going in there and saying,
I enjoy daily blowjobs.
they're like, Uncle Teddy never did that though. And you're like, that's not in my notes.
That's not
In my notes, Uncle Teddy got blowjobs all day.
round the clock.
Bryan, I feel like you would be fired from this Alps company quite soon, quite early. don't know if he'd last beyond
Hey,
the
how
first
was the
gig.
new guy's first day on the job?
He's drained. Yes. All right.
What,
What is
what
this?
he worked? He worked an extra shift? No. Well, sort of.
All right.
Extra shaft.
I heard it too, Brian. I was didn't say it. What are we, a locker room show? What the fuck?
Number one.
I just followed up with what the fuck. All right, what number one for you?
Whenever you're ready. If you still got more to say about Lanthimos or
No,
Well,
Alps and the
Alps.
shaft and the extra shift and the draining. No,
Drainage.
I'm done.
he's drained. Number one. Like
In my my acting class, which Atticus and I do 2-3 times a month. I like to try and do it every week, but Thursday sometimes. It doesn't matter. That's not the point. The point is this: they're mentally challenged actors, IDD, and
you can just say actors.
because all actors
That's
are mentally challenged. And it's an acting class. It's a 2-hour acting class that we go to on Thursdays. Saturdays is a 3-hour class, which we make sometimes, but it's tough with scheduling. But they one of the exercises is they memorize like famous lines and quotes from movies, and they
good.
recite them. And just out of the fucking blue, one of the main lines that's uttered or recited is I drink your milkshake. So we'll be in the middle of like a certain exercise, and one of my favorite dudes will just scream out like, I drink your milkshake, and it just delights me to no fucking end. And I'll call back, I drink it up, and that just delights
That's
him.
good.
It's good shit. Yeah. It's really good. I don't know what triggered that.
Eli.
You're just a boy.
Just the afterbirth.
You think it was over the top?
It's the best overacting I've ever seen in my life. Oh, it's so good. All right.
What of
sorry.
your sermons, Eli?
He earned it because by that point in the movie, he earned it. We had 2 hours with that guy. We're like, all right, cut loose.
Nice little business, 10,000 a week.
At times, I look into a man's eyes and see nothing worth like. Take him to the Peachtree dance.
Can all look it up.
I did want to go to the Peachtree dance. It did sound appealing.
It does, right?
It did sound appealing.
The Petrie dance sounds great. I thought it was Dams the first 3 times I saw it. I think it's just a place where they hang out and drink.
Petri dish?
Peachtree.
Oh.
Peachtree
Yeah, that
dance.
makes
But
sense.
it's a dance.
But he's liquored up, so it's hard to tell.
Sure. That's a good point.
All right, what's your number?
Number one. Well, like I alluded to earlier, sometimes there's just an obvious one that you have to do number one, and you look for ways around it, but it's just right there, and you'd be remiss. You'd look like a fool if you didn't have it as your number one.
Are you red herring us?
What do you mean?
I don't know.
I don't know what that means. Red Heron?
Yeah.
Like Hitchcock? No, I did Hitchcock.
Yeah, no, it seems like you're taking us down one road, which is obvious, but you're going to like come hit us with a left hook, which is
No.
going to upset me or something. Well, look at the grin. Look at the grin.
It's amusing to me that you wouldn't already know what I'm talking about. Of course, I'm talking about just 3 films, but I mean, left its mark on cinematic history. James Cameron and Michael Biehn. The Terminator, Aliens, and The Abyss. It doesn't get any better. Yeah, listen, they could have gone on and made many, many movies together, but you perfect the trilogy, and it's like, yeah, okay, you know what? We can't improve on this.
Do you think Michael Biehn is
Thinking about me right now.
is
Hopefully.
green with envy that he's not blue?
Oh, I anticipate him making an appearance at some point.
You think so?
Yeah. Be like a village elder.
Why is he not?
Or why are there no old Navi?
They don't make it that long.
There's no like wrinkled Navi. They're all young and virile.
Yeah.
Because like, that
They're
would
better than
defeat
us.
the purpose of getting us tumescent for them,
Yeah.
right?
That's a good point. Well, that's a genre.
That's a separate fantasy
that's right.
planet.
Like the original storyboards came in. There was a few like elders, and Cameron screamed. He says, "No, nothing but sex.
Not hot enough.
Sex appeal."
I'm too soft.
Good stuff. They actually, I don't know if there's a fun bit of trivia. They actually had a Oscar campaign for Michael Biehn for The Abyss to no avail. Didn't get nominated.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I
Was there a
almost did
campaign?
Michael Biehn listener art. There was almost
Oh, that
used
would have
it.
lined up.
Yeah.
All right, number one for me is actually. I don't want to take pole
Do you have a clip?
position, but all right.
Well, no.
I don't know how to do this. I'm gonna have to. I mean, it's the lesser of two evils,
That-
but do Tyler's.
Tyler Maier.
I know what Tyler's number one is.
Number one for Tyler Maier is George Roy Hill and Paul Newman.
Paul Newman, yeah.
Yeah.
These two made Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, The Sting, and one of my all-time favorites, Slapshot.
Those are close to 3 perfect movies in their own way. Like The Sting is
For the
arguably
genre,
the closest thing to a perfect movie that's ever been made. Butch Cassidy, in his own right, is very perfect, despite the Singing in the Rain bicycle scene. And
That is so weird. It's so out of place.
and Slapshot is just pure fucking bliss. If you're a boy and like hockey, it was written
That's right.
by a woman,
R-rated
Nancy
comedy.
Dowd, who's actually setting out to make a documentary about this strange Canadian sport of hockey. And like, anyways, the 3 goddamn close to perfect movies. So it's a very, very good number 1. That's why it's not tied for my number 1. I had to have it on my number 1. And if goddamn Bobby D and Scorsese hadn't really kind of turned me on to my love of film at a very impressionable age, George Roy and Paul Newman would be my number 1. But I had to have Bobby D and all of his goddamn movies on my list, because I mean it is the
Scorsese, of course.
for an American film viewer such as myself, or such as all of us. I mean, there's really nothing that really compares to it, I don't think. So it would have been lying if I didn't have it on my list. Now, speaking of the one that, one of the many that are few that aren't have been seen by you, Brad, you've seen Mean Streets.
Yes.
Seen Taxi Driver.
Yes.
Have not seen New York, New York.
Nope.
Raging Bull, you've seen.
Yes.
You got that? King of Comedy, you have not seen.
No.
No. Goodfellas, you've seen. Cape Fear, you've seen.
Yep.
Casino, you've
Yep.
seen. Irishman, you've seen. You will see Killers of the Flower Moon. The Audition. Now, The Audition is a $70 million short film. I think it's 16 minutes long. And it came out like 6-7 years ago. Came out. And it's, if you watch this thing, it's available on YouTube. It's shocking that it cost $70 million. Now, it stars
How?
Leo and
Do
Bob
they
De
blow
Niro.
up a gold bar?
And then Brad Pitt shows up for the last third, exactly in the fashion that you would imagine him to be. There's no there's no whodunit here. There's no like I didn't see that coming. Like you know exactly where this thing's going from the get go. It's cute and funny, but it would have been better in maybe 5 minutes. And it's
You say it's too long at 16 minutes?
16 minutes, and with these heavy hitters too. It's the first time the Scorsese ever directed Brad Pitt ever. Or DiCaprio and De Niro at the same time, and they're sharing scenes, and it's interesting because like DiCaprio and De Niro, of course, they were great in This Boy's Life. What else were they in? They were in something else together. Fuck, what was it? Drawing a blank. They were in some other movie, but the whole premise of this is Scorsese has got something going on in his head, is the way he says it. He's not sure what it is yet, and he wants them to both. Take a look at this role. So they both show up at Macau, China, right?
Okay.
At the same time at this big, glorious hotel. And they're both like going over their lines at the same time. They both get out of the cars at the same time, De Niro and DiCaprio, and they see each other. And they're like being real cagey with each other. Like, what are you doing here? Oh, what are you doing here? What do you got behind your back? What are you hiding there? And it's like, and then they see that they're both, reading from the same script. And then Marty comes out and he meets them in the lobby there. And it's this fun little 3-way conversation. And, Scorsese's doing he's doing a Curb Your Enthusiasm type thing, where he's like, you're not so much competing, you're vying, you're vying for the same part. You're not competing. You ever vie? You vied. You're vying. He's definitely doing a Larry David thing, and it's very paint by numbers. The fact that it cost $70 fucking million,
That's impossible.
they didn't even shoot. So then they go to.
Wait, for 16 minutes it was $70 million?
They go to Tokyo, and then they go.
They bought a Fabergé egg.
They go somewhere else, and so this was paid for and bought by a casino hotel in China, and they have very strict rules that you're not allowed to advertise casinos. However, they found like a loophole, and they're like, well, if we produce this movie where they're blurring the lines between advertisement and like fiction. With these big actors, we can get away with it. So they paid $70 million. $13 million went to each of the actors. I think Brad Pitt as well. 2 days of work. Yeah. 2 days of work.
Damn, that's half the budget.
And
3 actors.
I can say the first.
Damn, that's
the
a great
first
payday.
4 or 5 minutes is okay, and then it just doesn't really take any chances or do anything. It's just it's a payday for these guys.
Is that the most an actor's been paid per?
Could be. I mean, I'm
per
minute.
Yeah.
And they didn't even have to leave New York. They shot it all in New York.
It's like
they
Vin
3D
Diesel.
imaged.
Vin Diesel getting paid per word.
Yeah.
For fucking Groot.
He is Groot, though. Right.
That's all his dialogue.
So that's my number one, like officially, is the old Bobby D, and it's cute, it's fun. You want it to be more. You definitely wanted more with those three working together, and then Brad Pitt showing up at the end. And the punchline is not really that funny. It is what it is. But it's on YouTube if you like to watch. What, $70 million?
$7 million short.
Jesus Christ! Watch that movie and realize that they could have made 7 Pulp Fictions.
They could have made 70 groupers. They could have made 140 groupers.
Oh, no. Groupers was 90, 80, 85,000.
Oh, no shit. I thought it was more than that.
I don't even know what the number is. What would the number be? I don't even know. It's something astronomical. Like something like 900,000 groupers or something. I think 9,000 groupers.
No, it's only 700 groupers, right? 700 times 100,000?
I don't know. Don't make me do math when I've had a beer, my first beer in a week. Let's go.
That's still a lot of groupers.
How much was groupers?
85,000.
Oh.
80, 85. I mean, if you count my 5,000 that I put in at the end, then it's 85. But if you count, like, what I raised and put in initially.
I did that
85,000.
incorrectly. Hold on.
70 million divided by 85,000.
This is sad.
This is extremely sad. It's going to be 740.
Fuck this up.
There's this
Fuck
one.
this up so many times.
Yeah, you want me to just do it on paper?
No.
Because there's a lot of zeros in that 70 million. There's a
I was
whole lot
told
of
there'd be no
zeros.
math.
With this show.
That's right.
I told you all those years ago. I said, I'll do the show, Brian, but there's got to be math at some point.
That's not
you
correct.
won't know
God
when.
damn it, I keep
All right, I'm going to do this. I'm doing this. This is the part of the show where they do math.
I can't even do
We're
it with a
buffoons.
calculator.
We.
Jesus Christ.
Yes, I hired you too.
You did not hire me, Brian. You want me to walk.
I recruited you.
You want me to walk right now. I can't even find where my calculator is. That's how bad I am.
Why
Well,
do I think
part of
I
the
got
problem
it?
is you're using your calendar.
All right, I got the final number.
You got it?
You could have made 823 groupers.
That's it? I
That's
wanted
it.
9,000. God, I'm dumb. All right. Are you sure? I don't trust Avery. I don't trust him at all.
Why? I got the answer so fast.
823.529. That doesn't seem like, seems like there should be more.
825 groupers is plenty of groupers.
That's a good point. 800 Groupers 821 is coming out, guys.
It's a franchise.
All right.
It's the Grouper Cinematic Universe.
Let's do
Battle
also
Strikes
rans.
Again.
Also rans. Also rans.
I got none.
Really?
Well, I probably have some. The one I
That's
alluded to earlier.
31 26 episode seasons of groupers.
How many? What?
That's 31 26 episode
like The
seasons of
Simpsons.
groupers.
Jesus.
31, 26. Oh, I see. I see what you're saying.
41 seasons of 27.
Akira Kurosawa and
I
Takashi
don't know that name.
Shimura made 21 films together.
Oh, my God.
And Akira Kurosawa made 30 films total. So
Oh, wow.
do the math there,
21,
Brian.
30.
Get out a calculator there, Avery. Let's figure this out. More than 2/3 of the
Yeah, I was
movie
going to say that's
Kurosawa.
somewhere around 70%.
And we just saw him recently in oh, Jesus Christ. Andrew Martin signed it to us. I'm drawing a blank on the name.
Ikiru?
Ikiru.
Was that it?
And they
Yes,
just
that
remade
sounds
it.
correct.
They just remade it with Bill Nighy called Living.
Should we do
Oh,
should we do the listener list first before also rans?
Yeah. Sorry.
Listener list compiled by the Bitch Burns. Two-way tie.
Host
at
of the
number
Film
5.
Vaulters?
Host of the Film Vaulters. Hard R. Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes. And Ron Howard and Clint Howard.
Yeah, that's a good one. Clint Howard's been in almost all of Ron Howard's films.
Well, it's because he's just there on set, and Ron's like, all right.
Yeah. You're hanging around. Come on, hop in there.
Number 4, six-way tie with 3 votes each. Kurosawa and I don't know how you say his name. Mifune.
Yeah, he's in a lot too, but not as many as Takashi.
John Ford and John Wayne. Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg. Wes Anderson and Bill Murray. Wes Anderson.
I say Wes Anderson and a lot of people.
Yeah, and Hoffman, David Fincher, and Brad Pitt, and the Coens and Goodman.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, a tie with 5 votes each. Sam Jackson and Tarantino.
How about that?
And John Carpenter and Kurt Russell.
I think it was John Carpenter and never mind. Keep it going.
Number 2 is Jeremy Saulnier and Macon Blair.
Hey, look at that. That's a good one.
And number 1, of course, is Scorsese and De Niro.
There you go.
Ikaru.
The one I was
Ikiru.
alluding
Ikiru.
to, which
Ikiru. So
the
good.
the collaboration that jumped to mind for me was Tim Burton and Johnny Depp. It felt like Johnny Depp
Terrible.
was in every Tim Burton
Yeah.
movie for a stretch. And then I looked at it. I'm like, there's a
Like
couple
3 or 4?
good movies in there.
No, they're no good ones.
Well, Edward Scissorhands.
A great one.
Ed Wood.
Okay one.
Sleepy Hollow.
Good one.
No.
Yeah, a great one.
Sleepy Hollow?
I'm gonna say yes.
No, it's not good.
Still tell you.
Corpse Bride. Animated doesn't count. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Sweeney Todd.
Sween. Love it.
Alice in Wonderland. And
No.
Dark Shadow.
Dark Shadow.
Also, Rans. Bye.
I almost put Judd Apatow and Seth Rogen on my comedic list. Linklater and Ethan Hawke have made a number of movies together. I wanted to get clever so bad to enrage you and just do John Ratzenberger and Pixar.
I would have.
I couldn't have done
killed
that.
the spirit of this list.
James Cameron, of course, Michael Biehn, but also Schwarzenegger and Bill Paxton.
Sad.
Tarantino and Uma Thurman. Spielberg and Tom Hanks. Oliver Stone and Johnny McGinley. John C. McGinley has been in like all of his movies.
I know. I almost had him on my list.
Fincher and Brad Pitt.
When I talked to, we had John C. McGinley on Loveline, and I was talking.
I was
about
there.
How much I loved his character in Platoon, and I remember he was just like, "Yeah, that was a really good one."
Didn't he come in to promote Identity? Was he in that?
Yeah, he was. I think
It was right around.
Steve McQueen and Michael Fassbender almost made my list. Darren Aronofsky and Mark Margolis, who we know as the old grandfather in Breaking Bad with the bell. But he's in so many of Darren Aronofsky's early movies, especially he's in Pi. Noah Baumbach and his Greta Gerwig, his significant other. David O. Russell and Christian Bale have made 3 movies together, including the most recent Amsterdam, and they're working together right now. And a little birdie told me that Christian Bale finally had it out with David O. Russell, which I thought was shocking that he could make 3 movies with this guy
And
who
not
was notoriously difficult to
Mercurial.
work with. And Christian Bale skated, and apparently, because Christian Bale's famous for screaming and yelling at.
That's true.
Apparently, that DP that he was screaming and yelling at.
Good for you.
Yeah, apparently, like everyone, I think I might have told you this before, but like everyone on set was like, "Thank God someone's finally doing this because this guy's a piece of work." Apparently, everyone has a hard time working with that
Really?
with that DP, so they were very happy that Christian Bale did that. But apparently, he and David Russell, who are both known as screamers on set, finally.
Cantankerous.
Yeah, Luc Besson and Jean Reno.
Jean Reno.
Jean. But they've worked on. I don't have these written for my also rans, but trust me,
Trust me.
Danny Boyle and Ewan McGregor have worked on a ton, as well as James L. Brooks and Jack Nicholson and Albert Brooks. They've all 3 of them. John Carpenter and Jamie Lee Curtis have worked on a number together. Of course, Coen Brothers Goodman, Francis Ford Coppola and James Caan and Tom Waits and Nicolas Cage all worked on a number of films. Francis Ford Coppola, David Cronenberg and Viggo Mortensen,
Sexy.
Neil Jordan and Brendan Gleeson, and Stephen Ray.
Those names.
and Stephen Ray. What's that?
I don't know either one of those names.
You don't know Neil Jordan?
Keep going.
Are you kidding
Of
me
course
with
I know.
Brendan Gleeson? I will.
Is your letter Donald
I'll
Gleason?
pretend that this is a vibrator, and I will do with
Right
it
in the eye.
right in the eye.
Are we rowing?
And James Gunn and Michael Rooker have had some fun times on set together a number of times. So these were all in the running at one time or another on my list, and there's some good collaborations.
What about James Gunn and Sean Gunn? His brother is in a lot of his films.
It's great.
Often motion captured.
Fantastic, right? Thank you.
FYI.
I almost did Andy Serkis and
And Jackson.
Jackson, Peter Jack.
Well, you never see any circus on screen.
What do we?
No, I'm saying it's a digitized version.
No, but what do we see him in? And then we loved him in.
The Black Panther.
No, not that one, Brian. How dare you? All right, set you up. All right, let's get out of here.
No, we're
skedaddle.
Gamble.
We are gambling. What was the last week?
Is Michael Cole keeping track of this now that we have stakes for the gambling beyond
He should. I hope he
ultimate
is.
stakes?
It was the one that we thought was going to be bad, but ended up being okay.
Plane. That's what it was.
Plain Jane.
Well, do you have the?
I remember off the top of my head, I said 52, and Anderson said 41.
How do you remember
Is that true?
I'm
I
weird.
didn't write it down.
I'm
damn
weird
it.
like that.
You
I
said
could-
52.
You
could pull
and
up the
Gina
show.
both said 41.
Oh,
Remember
that
you
tied?
does
Yeah.
sound familiar.
Yeah, I could pull it up and play it. I have access.
All right, with
I
100,
like hearing Venom right.
that cannot be true. With 115, there's no way that's
What?
true.
I don't
With
know.
115 reviews, the Rotten Tomato score is 75%,
Yes. All
making
right, you have to see
Bryan the
Plane.
winner.
No, that's not how we're doing this.
I think you both might have to see
Brian,
Plane.
keep it up, dude. You keep fucking with me, and we give them back.
No,
you
no.
might have to see
No,
Brady
no.
at 80 or whatever
no.
it's called.
I'm actually excited about that.
Are you?
I feel like I've seen
I
the
can't
trailer now
imagine.
multiple times, and I got the idea.
I can't imagine how that movie ever got greenlit.
80 for Brady.
I get that like older women might want to go see it, but
They call my buddy Scott from Massachusetts, and he's fucking from Boston, and he probably greenlit it.
I mean, Boston people are going to go see it
Valuable
just because
contribution.
it's Brady, are they?
Fucking yeah.
Even though it's that movie, like
Yes.
they'll forgive
Oh,
everything that surrounds it
of
because
course. To fillet.
I was it's a flake because I was thinking like
It's his fillet.
I could see like it's targeted at old ladies, but there's even like going to be old ladies who aren't going to want to see like anything about
Football?
football or about the Patriots because they hate the Patriots. It's like a sliver. It's a very small audience. So,
So
it's
wait,
targeting.
whoever wins the month assigns the movie to watch for the watch along?
Yeah. And if we tie, the listeners get to decide.
This is brutal.
It's pretty good.
I have a movie I've been wanting to assign you so bad, but
Just hope I don't watch
how long am I going to wait to do this?
Which music down?
Until we're caught up, because I mean you've been fucking around with the listeners'
I've not.
assignments.
You keep trying
That's
to
right,
die,
you're
and
right.
it's really impacting the show.
That's right.
No, but also like I assigned it to you, and you're like, "Oh, we're supposed to watch that this week." I'm sorry, here I sit, and I have not seen it. What's it called? That's happened a number of times, Brian, and we're falling
He's
behind.
very busy with work.
Thank you. I have a brain tumor.
It's another place to store your memories. You have more matter
That's
up there
right.
than
That's-
most of us.
That's true. More
Yeah.
mass.
Yeah.
All right. What are we gambling on this week?
We are gambling on Alice Darling.
What the fuck is that?
Now I've heard things.
What is Alice Darling?
I've heard things about Alice Darling.
Can someone tell me
Those
something about
things
this movie?
may have been good,
It's about Alice and how she's a darling.
and they may have been bad.
Tell me something about this. Who directed it? Who's in it?
Isn't Anna Kendrick in this?
Alice Darling.
Is it a
This-
thriller or some?
Is this seriously the biggest release of the week? That's brutal.
Yeah.
Well, this is why
January
we're
17th.
this is why we're
today.
catching
What
up.
do you think?
Oof.
this is why we're catching up.
Okay.
It's a good time to catch up.
Alice Darling. I don't know anything about this.
A young woman trapped in an abusive relationship
Oh.
becomes the unwitting participant in an intervention staged by her two closest friends.
That's good.
Alice, Darling, Anna Kendrick.
Is this Scorsese?
It
Yes.
is not, unless he changed his name to Mary.
De Niro plays Anna Kendrick.
Wow.
All right.
I've-
I'm ready
Fine,
when you were ready.
Fuck if I know.
I've heard things.
Okay, let's just.
It was an official selection of TIFF.
Oh, was it?
I got a screener. I was going to watch it.
It's probably better you didn't. You'd have a real advantage in that case.
It is 90 minutes on the nose, and I will give you my score on 3.
Okay.
1, 2, 42.
38.
I almost said 37.
No.
I said 42. Yeah, I was told by very generous film watchers that I should not waste my time.
Okay. I just went on the fact that it's in mid-January.
All right, for Alice Darling, Anderson guessed 42. Brian guessed 38. The current score with 22 reviews is 82%.
Fuck.
22.
It could drop. It could drop by
Substantially.
50
yes.
points.
But how many people are seeing this?
Brutal.
All right.
82.
Oh, I don't like the trailer. They're showing the insertion.
Oh,
Jeez.
really? What's
Yeah.
it called?
Whoa.
It's called Alice Darling.
De Niro.
All right, here we go.
De Niro takes a vibrator to the eye.
Tyler, thank you very much for a solid list. It was fun to go over all of those collaborations, many of which were not really, that apparent
Collabs.
before doing the research, right? I had John Hughes and Anthony Michael Hall, Billy Wilder and Jack Lemmon, Werner Herzog and Klaus Kinski, Paul Thomas Anderson, Philip Seymour Hoffman. Did I also mention Philip Seymour Hoffman? I mean, Paul Thomas Anderson and John C. Reilly?
Yes, I believe you did. His
Should've,
name came
I
up.
didn't. I almost have him on the list. George Roy Hill and Paul Newman, and of course Scorsese and De Niro, and DiCaprio. I guess. Brian, you're 5-1. People like the 5-1.
5-1 is Avery. Write these down so I don't have to email them to you. Comedic.
No.
Don't do that.
Adam McKay, Will Ferrell. Number 4, Paul Feig and Melissa McCarthy. Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg. And Nick Frost. Lest we forget Nick Frost. Mel Brooks and Madeline Kahn at number 2. And the Coen Brothers and Francis McDormand and Slash. John Goodman. 5, Dramatic. Hitchcock and Stewart. PTA and PSH. Scorsese DiCaprio. Scorsese De Niro. And do I need to say it? James Cameron and Michael Biehn.
Do I need to say it?
Can't
And
be.
Can we get Tyler's list one last time? Avery started a
Yes,
button hooky
we
like that.
can for Tyler Maier. We got number 5, Coen Brothers and John Goodman. Number 4, Jack Nance and David Lynch. Number 3, Mel Brooks and Madeline Kahn. Number 2, Yorgos Lanthimos and Angeliki Papulia.
Nice.
Papulia?
Nice.
Papulia? Whatever.
Say it
And
with
number
confidence.
1, Papulia. And number 1 is George Roy Hill and Paul Newman.
Good. Nice.
Nice. All right, notes, listener art. Oh, that's flattering. Oh, my headphones. God damn you, Peter.
I want to see. I'm about to see.
Neil Orange Peel. You rapscallion. Good stuff. Well, the headphones going to become a thing? All right, thanks, Neil Orange Peel, for the listener art. Check it out on all of our social medias, if you will. Manatee feature artist this
good.
week. Check them out over
Those
AndersonandBryan.com.
headphones. It looks like you have ears on top of your head, and there's a separate set of cans up there.
Listening up top, like a blowhole. Thank you to all of our Patreon listeners. Check out AndersonandBryan.com. Check out Patreon.com/TheFilmVault. We have a spoiler edition up for Bardo. If that's a film you want to know more about, check that out. AndersonandBryan.com, the website, like I said, Anderson and Bryan, the Instagram, The Film Vault on Facebook and Twitter, The Film Vault podcast on YouTube.
We got that tree going right on Instagram. Like you can see
Link
all
tree,
of
yeah.
the link tree. You can go to Instagram and see all of the links to all of our shit right
Oh, that's
there.
good. Nice. That's Anderson and Bryan over on Instagram. Thanks, Giovanni, Ditch Burns, Mike Cole,
Ditch burns.
Mitch Burns. Oh no, Avery, update the second
already did.
episode with Eric Kath, if you could, because I read. I don't like to go back and forth.
I watched Gremlins with the
If
boy
that's
today.
okay.
I will do it.
Oh really? How'd
I
that
watched
go?
Gremlins with the boy.
Did it freak him out?
A listener let me know a while ago if when I was threatening to watch Gremlins with the boy, and they said there's a scene, if you recall, with Phoebe Cates talking about why she hates Christmas. Make sure
Oh,
you fast
Santa,
forward.
yeah.
Because of Santa. So be careful with that if you're going to watch that with a youngin. I was capable of doing that quite easily because my boy is 6 and he's pretty easy to trick. So I said, hey, go tell your mom some bullshit. And then
This is a boring part of the
and
movie.
I fast forwarded. He was none the wiser. But yeah, the most active viewing I've ever seen him do
Really?
of anything. He was so living and dying with everything that was happening in Gremlins.
How about that?
He's 6, not even 6.5 yet, and might have been a little too early for him, but he loved it. He absolutely loved it. Gremlins.
Nice. All right, check out Invade the Decade. That's Avery's podcast. Till next time.
We do it for Van Gogh.